Imagine waking up in your own Tesla tiny house that costs less than your current car payment, priced at just $789. But the big question is, where do you park it? No worries, we've done the research and mapped out exactly where you can place your Tesla tiny house without legal hassles or draining your savings. From free land opportunities to budget-friendly plots, we've got you covered. If you're searching for the perfect spot for your Tesla tiny house, drop a comment below and join the conversation. Are you tired of skyrocketing housing costs in your area? Have you considered how a Tesla tiny house could slash your monthly expenses by up to 70%? What would you do with the extra cash flow from eliminating your mortgage or rent? We'll explore all these questions in detail. Let's start with free land opportunities for your Tesla tiny house. The American West is packed with possibilities, with states like Arizona, Texas, Colorado, Wyoming, and Montana offering vast stretches of land and relaxed building regulations. In these areas, a 1-acre plot can cost between $1,500 to $5,000, far below the national average of $12,000 per acre. Montana alone has over 94 million acres of undeveloped land, with minimum parcel sizes often starting at just 5 acres, enough space for multiple Tesla tiny houses. Even better, some towns are giving away land for free to attract new residents. Marquette, Kansas offers up to 5 acres at no cost if you commit to living there for at least 5 years. Lincoln, Kansas provides free parcels measuring 14,000 square feet, 7 times the size of a standard Tesla tiny house. Curtis, Nebraska offers free residential lots worth around $4,000 each. Europe also has incredible options. In Portugal's central region, you can buy a 20 square meter plot for as little as $3,200, less than half the cost of the Tesla tiny house itself. Spain's Galicia region has similar deals, with abandoned villages sometimes available for under $50,000. Scotland's rural areas offer off-grid living at a fraction of urban costs, with plots starting around $12,800 for 0.25 acres. Italy and Greece have made headlines with their one home and land programs in depopulated villages, though these require renovations costing $20,000 to $50,000, still far cheaper than a traditional home. If free or cheap land sounds appealing, these locations could be life-changing for anyone looking to embrace ultra-efficient living in a Tesla tiny house. Now, let's talk about where you can park your Tesla tiny house without legal headaches. Many states have strict zoning laws that make it difficult to place a tiny home on private land without jumping through hoops. That's where tiny house communities come in, pre-established areas designed for small footprint living, offering utilities, legal compliance, and a built-in network of like-minded residents. These communities eliminate the need to set up solar panels, wells, or septic systems. Most provide electricity, running water, high-speed internet, and waste disposal, making them perfect for those who want simplicity without sacrificing modern comforts. Plus, since they operate within legal frameworks, residents avoid fines, evictions, or zoning disputes. Some well-known tiny house communities include Orlando Lakefront in Florida, offering full hookups and lakeside views, and Tiny Estates in Pennsylvania, which functions like a traditional neighborhood with amenities like a clubhouse and walking trails. Spur, Texas, is one of the few places where you can place a Tesla tiny house without permits, making it ideal for those who want to skip legal barriers. Of course, these benefits come with monthly fees ranging from $100 to $500, depending on location and amenities. But even at the higher end, it's significantly cheaper than the average $2,500 mortgage payment for a standard home. For those not ready to buy land, renting a plot or parking in an RV park offers a flexible, low-cost alternative. Land prices are soaring, so leasing provides a way to settle in without a huge upfront investment. Many locations offer rates as low as $100 to $300 per month, far less than city rent or mortgages. RV parks are another great option, especially in states like Oregon, Tennessee, and Texas, where regulations allow tiny houses and designated RV sites. These parks come with built-in amenities like electric hookups, water access, and sewage disposal, meaning Tesla tiny house owners can enjoy essential services without off-grid setups. Compared to traditional housing, where utilities alone can cost $400 per month, this setup is a major cost saver. For those considering off-grid living, the Tesla tiny house could be the ultimate freedom machine. Going off-grid means cutting ties with municipal utilities and escaping building codes and zoning laws. The average American home uses 715 kilowatt-hours of electricity annually, but the Tesla tiny house operates on just 200 kilowatt-hours thanks to hyper-efficient appliances and LED lighting. The American Southwest is ideal for off-grid living, with Nevada offering 40-acre parcels for as little as $10. These desert regions get 294 sunny days annually, allowing Tesla's solar system to generate around 387 kilowatt-hour yearly, enough to run essential systems for 8 months without grid power. The tiny house's 220-gallon water storage can sustain 2 adults for up to 36 days. And Arizona's Mojave County offers land at $2 per acre with minimal restrictions. For greener surroundings, Oregon and Washington's forested regions offer 10-acre parcels for $25 to $50 with access to natural springs and streams. The Tesla tiny house's water filtration system can process 400 gallons monthly, 4 times the average person's consumption. Washington's Olympic Peninsula receives 70 to 140 inches of annual rainfall, enough to supply the tiny house's 550-gallon rainwater collection system for months. For the truly adventurous, Alaska's Homestead Act allows claiming up to 160 acres for development costs under a fraction of what similar land would cost elsewhere. The Tesla tiny house's triple-pane windows and high R-value insulation make it capable of withstanding extreme cold. The Tesla tiny house isn't just a home, it's a revolution in affordable, sustainable living. Would you trade your mortgage for total freedom? Could a Tesla tiny house cut your living costs and boost your savings? Drop a comment and let's discuss. If this excites you, smash that like button and subscribe for more game-changing updates. The Tesla tiny house isn't just about cutting costs, it's about reimagining what home means in the 21st century. This compact mobile dwelling represents a fundamental shift away from the traditional 30-year mortgage trap and toward true housing freedom. With its integrated solar capabilities, ultra-efficient design, and smart space utilization, it proves you don't need 2,000 square feet to live comfortably. You just need the right 375 square feet. For digital nomads and remote workers, this changes everything. No longer tied to expensive urban centers, tiny house owners can follow ideal weather, lower taxes, or better scenery, while maintaining full professional capabilities. The built-in Starlink compatibility ensures high-speed internet, even in remote locations, while the energy-independent design means you're immune to power outages and utility rate hikes that plague traditional homeowners. The psychological benefits are just as compelling. Living in a carefully curated space forces intentionality about possessions, reducing the stress of clutter and unnecessary consumption. Many tiny house residents report higher quality of life despite, or perhaps because of, having less stuff to manage. The mobility factor adds another layer of freedom, allowing owners to relocate easily for new jobs, family needs, or simply a change of scenery. Environmentally, the impact is profound. A typical Tesla tiny house uses about 10% of the energy required by a conventional home, with a carbon footprint reduced by nearly 90%. The sustainable materials and ultra-efficient systems demonstrate how housing can be part of the climate solution rather than part of the problem. When paired with regenerative land practices, these dwellings can actually improve their surroundings rather than deplete them. Perhaps most revolutionary is how this model democratizes homeownership. Where traditional housing has become increasingly unattainable, especially for younger generations, the Tesla tiny house offers a realistic path to property ownership without crushing debt. It's not just an alternative housing option, it's a rejection of the notion that financial servitude is the price of having a roof over your head. The implications extend beyond individual benefits to potential community solutions. Imagine tiny house villages providing affordable housing for teachers, nurses, and first responders in high-cost areas, or mobile communities that can relocate to provide disaster relief housing. The scalability and flexibility of this model could help address some of our most persistent housing challenges. As more people discover they can live larger by living smaller, this movement will only grow. The Tesla tiny house isn't just a product, it's the physical manifestation of a growing cultural shift toward financial independence, environmental responsibility, and intentional living. In a world where the traditional housing model is increasingly broken, it offers something radical: The freedom to choose how and where you live, unburdened by excessive costs or unnecessary space. The question isn't whether you can afford a traditional home, it's whether you can afford not to consider this alternative. With housing costs continuing to spiral while wages stagnate, the tiny house revolution may soon move from fringe option to mainstream necessity. Those who embrace it earliest will reap the greatest rewards, not just in savings, but in quality of life and personal freedom. Would this lifestyle work for you? Could you see yourself thriving in a Tesla tiny house? Share your thoughts below. Your ideal living situation might be closer than you think. And if you're ready to explore life beyond the mortgage, don't forget to like and subscribe for more content that challenges conventional wisdom about home and happiness.